Today we've got brand new leaks straight from the Dawn Discord server for part 2 of the Ghoul Garden event, and honestly, I've been waiting for this moment. Every time I think I've seen it all, they drop something even crazier. This batch of leaks was definitely worth the wait. There's a ton of new stuff coming, and surprisingly, some of it actually ties back to the previous Halloween event. Especially something connected to the black hole, and this will definitely change Grow a Garden forever. We're going to talk about everything, so make sure you stick around until the end. But before we start, could you please hit that red button down there? Come on guys, help me reach 5,000 subs by the end of the month. Alright, enough talking, let's get into it. As you can see, we now have a confirmed part 2 for this event, and I honestly think there's even going to be a part 3 after this. Trust me. If you look at the official event teaser, here's the usual info that drops every week. Admin abuse will start roughly 1 hour before update. Don't miss out. This update extends the Halloween event. Explore the expansion of the Ghoul Garden Halloween update, introducing new events to participate in, plus new stuff to unlock, like seeds, pets, weather, and lots more. There's a lot to unpack in this update, and I'm genuinely excited for it. This update and the next one will completely shape and change Grow a Garden as we know it. So first up, let's talk about the leaks from the Dawn Discord server. You can check their link in the description below. Okay, first one up, the Halloween Gearbox. I saw this and literally paused for a second like, wait, Gearbox? That name alone could mean a lot of things. Some people assumed it's a crate or chest, but honestly, I'm leaning toward it being an actual gear-related item. Maybe a reward chest that gives out random event tools or seeds. Think of it like the corrupted Kitsune chest we got before, but this time with a Halloween twist. If that's true, we might finally see a system that drops event-specific tools again. Because right now, most of the older gear items have completely fallen off, like no one's using half of them anymore. If this gearbox brings them back in a Halloween version, maybe we'll get spooky variants of watering cans, fertilizers, or even sprinklers. Imagine getting a cursed watering can that boosts mutation chances or something like that. It would instantly become one of the most valuable drops in the event. Next up, the Halloween Radar. And honestly, this might be one of the biggest quality of life items we've seen in a long time. Anyone who's been farming mutation fruits knows exactly how painful it is to find spooky or vampiric fruits in a massive garden. You've got hundreds of multi-harvest plants growing all at once, everything blending together, and half the time it's nearly impossible to spot them before submitting to the jack-o'-lantern. So yeah, if this radar actually helps locate those vampiric or cursed fruits, that's a massive help. It might work similarly to the mutation detector we had back during the Zen update and other past events. Then we've got the Halloween light. Okay, I've seen the current image for it and it doesn't scream Halloween at all. It's literally red and green lights, like Christmas decorations. I'm guessing that's just a placeholder because there's no way they'd actually use that. The real one's probably going to have glowing orange effects, flickering lanterns, or maybe ghostly particles and fog. I'm hoping they make it reactive too, like it brightens up your garden during the night cycle. That would look sick for screenshots. Now, the next one that really stood out, skip dead tree quests. This one's priced at 189 Robux, which already tells us it's not just a small one-time skip. That's the same pricing pattern they used for bigger quest lines like Bone Blossoms in the Prehistoric event, where you could skip entire daily objectives instead of single tasks. So my guess, the dead tree will be the main progression quest line for this year's Halloween event. You'll probably have to complete tasks like collect cursed seeds or revive the dead sapling to unlock rewards each day. And if you look closely at the official event teaser, there's that huge creepy tree beside a grave, crooked branches, glowing eyes, full-on haunted vibe. If this ends up being the divine or transcendent seed, that's going to be a must-have. I can already imagine players filling their entire garden with those. It'd look straight out of a haunted forest. Then there's the Twilight Pack. This one's interesting because it only has 3 items, a ghostly tree creature, which I'm guessing is the Spriggan, a candy corn, and a plant. As for the Spriggan, let's call it the Ghost Spriggan. You'll remember we had this back in the Beanstalk event. The old one's passive was Overgrowth. Every approximately 23 minutes, it spreads its roots and all nearby fruits within 30 studs have a 15% chance to get the bloom mutation. So maybe this version will have a Halloween themed mutation instead. Hopefully they buff the activation time though, 23 minutes is way too long. Then we've got the Spooky Crate, which kind of completes the whole lineup perfectly. We already had the Spooky Egg and the Pumpkin Crate, and now this one ties everything together. But it also makes me wonder, are we finally getting a Pumpkin Egg too? Because that would balance things out, though we already have the Headless Horseman as the pumpkin themed pet, so maybe this crate focuses more on spooky decorations or materials. Speaking of decorations, there's also the pumpkin set. It sounds purely cosmetic, but I'm actually hyped for it. I've been collecting every Halloween decoration so far. Why not, right? They look great. I'm planning to build a fully themed garden section this time. Just imagine mixing the pumpkin set with the witch's broom and spooky lights. It'd look like a full haunted village setup. Now, speaking of the witch's broom, this one could go two ways. If it's a gear, maybe it works like a glider or boosts your movement speed while hovering. But if it's decorative, I really hope it's animated. Imagine it floating around your garden, sweeping dust or leaving behind a trail of purple smoke. That would make the whole area feel so alive during the event. Alright, now for the first confirmed pet of the update, the Dark Spriggan. This one's been teased for a while and we've finally seen it. It's basically a darker, ghostly version of the normal Spriggan. Glowing eyes, little horn-like shapes on its head, and a faint misty aura around its arms that gives it a creepy, eerie vibe. I think it's going to sit around mythical rarity. Not too overpowered, but definitely a fan favorite. Now, here's a mysterious one, the Hex Circle. I'm really hoping this ends up being a teleport gear. Imagine dropping it on the ground, walking somewhere else, and teleporting right back to it. That would fit the Halloween theme perfectly. But if it's just a decoration, I'm still hoping for good animation. Glowing red lines, pulsing pentagram symbols, and smoky mist effects. It'd look amazing in dark gardens. Next up, the Demon Goat, and man, this might be one of the coolest pet designs yet. Intense black fur, glowing red eyes, huge twisted horns, it's giving full-on Dark Familiar vibes. My prediction, this will be the mythical pet, while the Dark Spriggan will sit at legendary. And maybe the devs are saving the divine pet for something even crazier, like a Grim Reaper spirit or a possessed plant. Then there's this one called Suspicious Soup. That name alone got me curious. It might be related to cooking or potion crafting making a comeback. We haven't really seen food-based items matter much since the Zen update. Maybe it's part of a side quest or a temporary buff that boosts plant growth for a short time. And finally, the Gearbox image got updated. Turns out, yeah, it really is just a chest itself. So it's not literally gear as in tools, but more of a reward box that drops random Halloween items. Seeds, pets, maybe even rare cosmetics. Which makes sense since that's how older event crates work too, like the Prehistoric and Easter ones. Now about the Hex Circle's final model. It's got a big orange pumpkin face and a thick 3D rim. It doesn't look bad, but it's chunkier than I imagined. I was hoping for something thinner and glowing, like a floating magic circle. But maybe once we see it fully animated with lighting and shadows, it'll look better in game. And this is where everything starts to connect. Because if you've been following Grow Garden's story lately, the lore is finally starting to take shape. In part 2 of the Halloween event, things go deeper than just new gear or pets. There's now a growing storyline behind all the spooky themes, and it might explain why we're seeing things like the Dead Tree, the Demon Goat, and the Hex Circle. The devs have been hinting that Grow Garden isn't just one world anymore. When you talk to the ghostly NPCs during the current event, you'll notice something strange. They keep mentioning another world and something called the Heartseed. If you talk to the ghost man and ask who are you, he replies, not lost, just visiting, while the door is still open. When you ask what do you remember, he says everything feels like a dream, familiar but strange. If you ask will you disappear, he answers when the worlds separate again, we'll return to the shadows. Then if you ask can you go back, he replies the path only works one way, until the Heartseed awakens. And when you speak to the ghost woman and ask why are you here, she says the Heartseed hasn't noticed yet, so we slip through the cracks. When you ask what happened to you, she says we're echoes from the other side. When worlds touch, shadows can walk. Finally, if you ask where are you from, she whispers, we're from between here and there. The veil is thin tonight. That entire dialogue changes everything. It sounds like the Heartseed might be a divine seed that connects two different realms, maybe even the same place where all these undead creatures are coming from. And that's where the black hole rumor fits in. According to leaks and dev teasers, including what Jandal hinted last Saturday, it could literally destroy the entire current map. Not permanently, but as part of the lore. When the worlds separate again, the Heartseed might awaken and pull the garden into a new dimension. This would fit perfectly with how the devs said they're expanding plots. Fewer plots overall, but way bigger ones. It feels like we're being set up for a total world rebirth, a lore reset that leads to a brand new Grower Garden. There's also that line from the Witch NPC, "Don't trust fairies." That hit differently because it connects back to the fairy event not too long ago. So it's possible there's an ongoing war between the fairies and the undead. Imagine that, witches, spirits, and demonic creatures like the demon goat versus the fairies and light beings. A literal war of light and dark might be building up in the background. That would explain why we're suddenly seeing so many dark cursed items. The dead tree, Hex Circle, and demon goat could all be relics from the underworld preparing for this conflict. If that's true, then the black hole might not just destroy the map, it might merge both worlds temporarily before they split again, leaving traces of the other realm behind. I also noticed that the witch NPC mentioned searching for a certain goblin creature. No one knows what that means yet, but it could be a new NPC or even a future pet line connected to potion brewing. Remember the suspicious soup leak earlier? That might tie directly into this. Maybe potion crafting or alchemy will return as a gameplay feature. And if the devs do push through with the map deletion, they already confirmed we won't lose our progress or money. It'll be more of a lore reset, a reworked world with new seeds, plots, and maybe new currencies. It really feels like something massive is being set up behind the scenes, connecting every event through subtle NPC dialogues and item lore. So when you look at these leaks, the Gearbox, Hex Circle, Demon Goat, and Dead Tree, they're not just random Halloween items anymore. They're symbolic pieces of a much bigger story. The Heartseed, the black hole, and the possible war between the fairies and the undead could all tie together into one massive narrative that defines the future of Grower Garden. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this batch of leaks. It's a really strong lineup overall. New radar, themed gear, multiple pets, cosmetics, and a new questline tied to the Dead Tree. The devs definitely went all in, and this is shaping up to be one of the best seasonal updates we've ever had. Now I'm curious, which leak caught your attention the most? Do you think the Dead Tree will be the Divine Seed this time, or are they saving it for the final Halloween drop? Let me know your thoughts down below, I want to hear your theories. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll keep watching for more leaks before the event officially drops. If anything new pops up, I'll cover it right away. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.